Stop eating these common foods. Look, I'm not even being dramatic here. These top 10 common foods could actually kill you. Yes. And you might actually have most of these in your kitchen right now. So let's jump into the 10 common foods that could actually poison or kill you. Number 1, apple seeds. Now I have to start with this because I have a personal story. My own mom used to eat full apple cores with seeds and all. I was horrified to learn this recently. She didn't eat a lot of them, thankfully, but yeah, she would just down the whole apple. So don't do that. If you're an apple enthusiast like my mom, you may have considered just eating the whole apple core. I don't know what would give you that idea, but don't do it. Just eat the apple, chuck the seeds, chuck the core. You are not a compost. Apples can be a great snackle, but the seeds will get you and get you good because apple seeds contain a compound called amygdalin, which can be turned by your body into cyanide. Yes, cyanide, the poison. Cyanide prevents your body from carrying oxygen. And I think we all know that our bodies are oxygen friendly and we need it to live. Having too much cyanide can cause nausea, vomiting, seizures, and even death. Luckily, each individual apple seed only contains a small amount, and you would really likely have to chew them and eat a lot, like we're talking hundreds or every day, to get cyanide poisoning to the extent where it would kill you. But no level of cyanide is good, okay? We're not trying to get some cyanide into our bodies. Just don't eat apple seeds, but if you have eaten a few or you accidentally eat a few or swallow a few, it's likely not going to harm you unless you do it a lot and in large numbers. So as the good saying goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but apple seeds are toxic indeed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the original saying. I totally did not just make that up. Oh, and if you're thinking you're safe with other seeds like apricot pits, cherry peats, no. You don't want to be eating, grinding, doing anything with those other than chucking them in the garbage or compost. Number 2, nutmeg. Yes, the popular spice nutmeg in high doses can actually kill you. So nutmeg contains a compound called myrcene. At high doses, this can cause your cells to die. And by high doses, I mean as little as 2 to 3 teaspoons. So go ahead and sprinkle some nutmeg on your food, on your drinks, but make it just a sprinkle, okay? Don't be consuming 2 or 3 teaspoons because even as little as that can cause hallucinations, nausea, vomiting, seizures, coma, and even death. In small doses, nutmeg is actually great for us and has anti-inflammatory benefits. This is a perfect example of the dose makes the poison. And if you're getting the thought to use nutmeg as a recreational hallucinogen or drug, don't go there. Trust me. Even though it can make people hallucinate, that's going to be a really bad time because you'd be hallucinating, vomiting, having seizures, in and out of coma. Does not sound like a fun party to me. Number 3, let's continue with our wonderful spice journey where it takes us to cinnamon, one of my most favorite spices. Yes, too much cinnamon can actually harm you. Cinnamon is actually an incredible spice. It's incredibly healthy for us. It can actually help with blood sugar regulation. So it's great for diabetes, pre-diabetes, to manage blood sugar. It's wonderful, tasty, and delicious as well. So why is it on the list? Enter social media and the absurdity of the cinnamon challenge. To the horror of doctors everywhere, people on social media thought it was a good idea to do the cinnamon challenge, which is taking dry cinnamon on tablespoons into their mouth and chewing it, breathing it, I don't know, but with no water, just pure cinnamon. This is not safe. Cinnamon contains a compound called coumarin, which in high doses can actually be toxic and damage your liver. With the cinnamon challenge, people were swallowing and chewing dry cinnamon, which can cause irritation and inflammation in the lungs as well. It makes it difficult to breathe, you can choke and even die. A 13-year-old boy actually tragically ended up in a coma because of the cinnamon challenge. And there has been a case of a 4-year-old boy who accidentally consumed a lot of cinnamon and tragically passed away. So this is not a joke. Do not do the cinnamon challenge for the love of everything, and just don't consume copious lots of cinnamon. Just eat it normally, put it on your food, put it on your oatmeal, and you'll get the great health benefits of it. Number 4, pufferfish or fugu. You may have never heard of this because it might not be so common in North America, but it's actually considered a delicacy in certain parts of Asia, including Japan. Pufferfish can be very dangerous, and you actually need special certification to prepare this fish. You need to train for a long period of time and get special certificates to be one of the chefs in Japan that can prepare this, because improperly prepared pufferfish contains a toxin called tetrodotoxin. This toxin is found in pufferfish skin, liver, ovaries, and other organs, and it's actually a neurotoxin, so it can paralyze your muscles, cause respiratory failure, and even death. This toxin is actually produced by pufferfish as a way to protect themselves against predators. They're just trying to protect themselves, but even in small doses, it can be lethal. In fact, it is one of the most potent natural toxins known to humankind. I'm a pretty adventurous person, and I love trying new foods, but I don't know if I'm willing to take the risk with pufferfish. Let me know in the comments if you have tried it and if you would take the risk of trying it. Number 5, kidney beans. As the saying goes, the more you eat, the more you... No, that's not the problem here. The issue is improperly prepared kidney beans. You might be surprised by this because I actually didn't know about this for a while, but undercooked, kind of crunchy kidney beans that aren't boiled can actually be toxic to you. So it is very important to properly cook your kidney beans. Undercooked kidney beans can contain a toxin called phytohemagglutinin. This toxin, which in large quantities can cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain. In some cases with severe doses, it can be life-threatening. The key is if you boil kidney beans for at least 10 minutes, that destroys the toxin. So make sure you prepare your kidney beans properly by boiling them for at least 10 minutes and cooking them for the proper amount of time. Do not cook them in a slow cooker because it doesn't reach a high enough temperature, and make sure they are soft, not crunchy. Kidney beans are not where you want to satisfy your crunchy craving, okay? Go for something else. It's also best to soak them before cooking and pour that water out and then boil them and cook them. Canned kidney beans, on the other hand, are fine. They're already pre-cooked, so you shouldn't be getting any crunchy beans in there. Number 6, rhubarb leaves. Now, I love rhubarb. Actually, I have fond memories because it used to grow in my backyard growing up. But rhubarb leaves are toxic. They contain high amounts of oxalic acid, which can cause kidney damage and potentially death if in high doses. Oxalic acid can bind with calcium in the body and cause crystals that can damage your kidneys, as well as other organs, cause digestive upset, nausea, vomiting, and like I said, death. The stems of rhubarb also do contain some oxalic acid, but it's in small amounts, similar to spinach. Spinach also has a bit of oxalic acid. It's not in super high amounts like in the leaves of rhubarb. So rhubarb leaves have it in such a high amount that it can be lethal, so don't be eating them. Number 7, raw cashews. I mean raw, like straight from the tree cashews. Not when you see those organic cashews labeled raw organic. Those aren't actually raw. I'm talking about raw cashews straight from the tree contain a toxin called urushiol in their raw, unprocessed state. This toxin is around the cashew shell, and it can actually cause a reaction to your skin if you pick it directly from the tree, similar to poison ivy. So it can cause inflammation, burning, itchiness of the skin. So because of this poison in truly raw cashews, it can be lethal if consumed. Don't be off picking raw cashews from trees yourself. Just get them from the store. If they say raw on the store packaging, they're legal to sell. Those are fine. Okay, I think we're clear. Number 8, lychee, the delicious, watery, scrumptious fruit. It's amazing, but only if you eat it ripe. If you eat a lychee in its green, unripe state, it contains a toxin called hypoglycin. This toxin is found in the fruit and in the seeds, and it can be lethal if consumed. There is actually a well-known instance in a certain region of India. A lot of children were dying in this particular region of India, and doctors and people had no idea why. 47 children died. Finally, after lots of investigation, doctors discovered these children were going and eating unripe green lychees, and they were eating them in high amounts. They were actually consuming this toxin, and it caused a brain disease called acute encephalitis syndrome. It caused their brain to swell. It caused severely low blood sugar, and so they got brain inflammation, caused their brain to swell, caused seizures, a coma, and eventually, unfortunately, death. So go ahead and eat lychees, but only in their ripe form. No unripe lychees for you, okay? Number 9, elderberries. Yes, let's continue with the deadly unripe fruit, okay? So elderberries are delicious and nutritious, but only if ripe and cooked, okay? Don't be eating uncooked, unripe elderberries. There's a toxin called glycosides in elderberries, in the fruits, seeds, and even in the leaves and stems. And if ingested in large amounts, it can cause the buildup of the toxin cyanide, which can cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, respiratory failure, and even death. But cooking elderberries releases this toxin so they don't have it anymore, so they're perfectly safe to eat if they are cooked. So go ahead, have cooked elderberries if you want. Finally, number 10, potatoes. Yes, this is your warning to stop eating potato chips. I'm just kidding. Those won't kill you. At least not in that way. This is about green potatoes. Have you ever seen potatoes with a green tint, either all green or just have green tint splotches around it, or even those sprouts that sometimes you call eyes? Yes, those can be dangerous. Greening of the potato is actually a natural process when the potato is exposed to light, so it produces chlorophyll. But those green spots actually contain a toxin called solanine. So even though those green spots may look harmless and those sprouts might look kind of weird and cute, they're not. They're anything but. They are toxic. Don't eat them. Throw out the potato if it's green. Ingesting too much solanine can be lethal. Basically, what I'm hearing is don't eat your potatoes, eat your broccoli and spinach instead. Am I right? And then everybody will be happy. So there you have it, 10 common foods that could be lethal. So go ahead and eat your nutritious foods. Just stay away from these 10. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up so that I know, and make sure to subscribe so that you can join me on this journey to become the best and healthiest version of yourself. Let's do it together.